working.
Welcome to the Avants Podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Nick.
How's it going, man?
I'm on camera. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do with my hands. No.
Well, hopefully this recording works. We're testing the new studio camera setup, which is a little awkward. It's a learning curve.
We've gone this long without people knowing what we look like. This is probably not a great idea.
I feel like most people do at this point.
Yeah,
I don't hide too much.
It still scares me sometimes when people come up to me and they know more about me than I do. So, yeah.
I got a few of those.
Yeah.
Not often, but somebody will remember something we've said on the podcast. I'm like, what?
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. Hey, when you said that was really funny. Did I say that? That sounds like me. Yeah.
I got to do a shout out to P&W Components.
Yeah.
So they sent us swag.
Yes.
And he'll be a guest on the show last week. You'll remember him from our Nürburgring episode. But their shirt and sweatshirt are like the two nicest t-shirts and sweatshirts I've ever had.
I know.
I have been digging. I'm going to ask him, but I need to know where they source this stuff from, because I'm not kidding. Like, I like swag, don't get me wrong, but some of it is just nice to have. It's, work in the shop shirts.
Yeah.
But Nick and I and Adam, thank God, pride ourselves on having like actually nice stuff you want to wear.
Well, we want to be comfortable too.
Yeah, comfortable, good quality, durable. Like even when we were RCS, we didn't have throwaway shirts. We had really nice stuff.
In fact, our RCS shirts still feel great and new. Like,
yeah. I buy them with no label on Amazon for like, I think not even $10 a piece.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you the cost of t-shirts, by the way. But whatever he's using for their t-shirts and sweatshirts is next level. It is the nicest sweatshirt and t-shirt I have, period.
Yeah. I put the sweatshirt on and I told Kate, I was like, I don't want to move. Like, I don't want to get it dirty. I don't want to wash it. Like, I don't want.
I was out cleaning the shop, and I literally went back inside and changed my sweatshirt because I didn't want to get it dirty. I was cleaning the shop and working on stuff. I was working under the trailer, and I've got metal shavings all over and stuff. And I was so.
And they are black. Like,
and they don't fade.
And any little speck of dirt shows on it because they are so black and so nice. So
shout out to P&W Components, because even if you don't ride bicycles at all, I'm probably going to buy everything they have. I'm not kidding. The long sleeve shirt, the socks. I'm excited to feel the socks because they're as good as everything else they have. I'm not kidding. I'm going to buy everything they have because one, if you're not a rider, it just says Pacific Northwest Components on it. It's very easy to wear even if you're not a bicycle rider. I had somebody at Home Depot though comment though. And
if you're a mountain biker,
and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
If you know, I've already had a couple. I was up in Bellingham this weekend. People are like, "Oh yeah, I ride their gear," and I'm like, "Yeah, a lot of people do." Like, I love it. Yeah.
So, but you gotta hand it to them. So I'm at their website right now, and their range tee is $32, which you think for a swag tee it seems a little high. Oh no. I'm gonna order like 10 of these things because they're black. They're really have a really nice logo.
Yeah.
They'll match anything, and I'm not kidding. It's the nicest quality swag I've ever had.
We're gonna talk to Aaron next week. Like I said,
so thank you, Aaron, big time.
I've been riding with their gear and the Rover hip pack, which I love. I use that on and off the mountain bike, but I'm excited for that. But yeah, that stuff showed up, and I was like, this is so nice. And I have a brand new Patagonia sweatshirt that I love, and it totally wins. So,
this is way above quality of any of the. Sorry, and I shout out to I have a friend that works at Arc'teryx, but you guys need to take a lesson from whoever is supplying the Pacific Northwest Components swag and just order all of it.
Yeah.
So even if you don't ride a bicycle, just trust me on at least the T-shirt and the hoodie. I can vouch for. Literally the nicest I've ever had. Yeah. Perfect sizing. Even Shauna looked at my shirt and she's like, "That's a really nice T-shirt and sweatshirt. Can you get me one of those?" I was like, I'll order them up.
Absolutely.
So if it's any, all their gear, all of the P&W component stuff, their actual riding stuff is really high quality. Mm-hmm. It's nice stuff, but man, they did not skimp on the swag. So thank you, big time for that.
Yeah. Did you have a good? I know I stole your Carter Automotive tip last week, and I apologize for that. And I feel like I did it without really telling you. Mm-hmm. So, did you save it for this week or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I've been doing work on the trailer more and more, and that's going great. I've had a few frustrating setbacks with tools. So I have, I'm not gonna name the brand, but a drill adapter rivet nut setter. And it works really well for not stainless and like basic rib nuts. If you're doing rib nuts in sheet metal, it's going to be fine. As long as you follow the instructions, don't use an impact on it, anything like that. And I did to a T, but it really struggles with stainless. And so I was frustrated, to say the least. And, since the trailer's not just for me, I'm pulling Shauna's R8 in it. What I found was that I frustrated. I came into the house and said, I'm just like, this is super hard to do. And she's like, well, how much is like a really good tool for doing this? And well, there's not a lot of, outside of manufacturing, there's not a lot of rib nut setting tools that aren't upwards of $1,000.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spend that much for a one case use or limited. I'm not manufacturing.
It's not your R8. I mean, God.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Kind of is,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah.
And so we found the Amazon non-name brand, but it's a Air rib nut set gun. And it was about $160, I think, $130 to $160, something like that. Man, life-changing. There's just so much to be said for having the right tool for the job. And if you're using rib nut, once you have a rib nut setting tool and you've used the hand ones, you'll find a lot of uses for rib nuts. Just telling you right now, anything metal you want to attach to anything else, you're going to use a rib nut.
Hang a photo on the wall, rib nut.
Sheetrock, rib nut. Just kidding.
Nut.
Don't
Yeah,
do that.
don't do that.
I kind of want to try it now, but probably not. It would just explode out. I think.
Yes, we will try it, but on a piece of extras. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, the air tools is what I was going to get as the automotive tip, but not. This is what led me down the road. One of the things that's kind of annoying about air tools is you got to oil them. I mean, that's just a fact of life. You got to take care of your tools and you got to oil them. Well, you can. Times have changed. You can drop a few drops in there, but they make air tool. It's called refresh oils, and they're kind of cleaning / oils. The guys who make PB penetrant, the WD-40 competitor, make it, and you just spray it in there. And I found that it worked great for that tool, but I also have found that one of my other tools, my DeWalt, not my pin nailer, not a pin nail, the trim nailer.
Okay.
So two smaller.
Brad nail kind of
Brad
thing?
nailer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Drawing a blank there.
Yep.
My Brad nail gun constantly jams if it doesn't get enough oil. Like it's really annoying because you use a Brad nailer, you're probably doing like 150, 200 nails at a time, right? Yeah, well, this stuff sprays in there, completely solved the problem.
Oh, that's
I was doing some trim with that, and I was like, this is the first time this thing hasn't jammed up on me. So look for those air refresh oils. To keep your stuff clean. It's kind of like, I equated it to actually a lot like cleaning a gun. Yeah. Like if you don't clean it up constantly, it's going to jam up on you and stuff. So with your air tools, it's one thing to oil them, but you also need to keep them clean, and you can get some really good just conditioning oils now, and that's a really important step for owning air tools. That's all I want to throw out there.
I was laughing because I was in Home Depot. I needed a couple of things for hanging some stuff, and there was a woman in there, and she was buying like 4 or 5 cans of WD-40, and I was like, what do you have that's stuck? And she gets this big grin on her face. She goes, I use it to clean the inside of my shower door, and I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah. She goes, all the soap scum's gone. I'm like, but doesn't the shower smell like WD-40? She goes, it's my husband's shower. He doesn't care. I go, okay, fair enough.
If I had a shower in the shop, which I get it. I would do that. Yeah, no.
I was like, oh, okay.
Actually, I found for this, Rain-X makes a really good shower cleaner.
Yeah, and I was just like, it was one of those situations where, and the listeners can't see it, but she's walking down the aisle like this. Yeah. And I'm like, what did you get stuck? So, yeah. Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of Rain-X products overall. They tend to leave kind of a residue in the windshield over time. But they make the shower door cleaner. And actually, that works better than anything I've ever tried. I'm
running their washer fluid in my car, and I've noticed it's a funny thing is when I'm not using it and it's raining, downpouring, it's on the windshield. It does a great job. But when I spray it, it definitely it puts that film on there.
It leaves like a weird film on there. Yep. Yeah. And replace your wipers for one if it's doing that. That helps a lot.
Well, they're brand new wipers.
Oh.
Like I said, I got brand new wipers and I put brand new fluid in it. So, but yeah, you're right.
Anyway.
So here's kind of a topic. I sent this to you and Megan. And I wanted to kind of talk about it. It's our road and infrastructure in the United States, and it's perfect. So we don't need to talk about it much.
Right. But, our roads are fine. What are you talking about? If you drive a Raptor, they're great.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of part of it, actually.
Yeah.
Our vehicles are getting bigger. They're getting heavier, especially our hybrid vehicles. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who did the test, and if we can link the video to this, we will. They took a Rivian and they ran it through
the guardrail.
A guardrail. Yeah. And because those cars weigh so much,
8,000 pounds,
our guardrails are not set up for that.
Yeah, they're not meant to.
And that being said, yes, we understand there's big trucks and trailers out there that go through them, but this was a Rivian that went through it. It didn't deflect. Like they're supposed to kind of deflect you in a certain way. This went through it, and then it went over the concrete barrier behind it.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is because of these new fully electric cars, the Rivians, what's the new really expensive one that's the
Lucid?
4-door Lucid? Yeah. I actually saw one of those yesterday. Not bad.
Yeah.
they weigh so much that our infrastructure is not built for it. And we talk about our roads being deteriorated from the weight of the cars and things like that. This is really becoming an issue.
Yeah.
So hybrids are killing the world. I said it. No. No.
EVs, not hybrids.
EVs. No. Yeah.
Yeah. No, weight is a big issue. You're absolutely right. That video was pretty eye-opening. If you're ever trying to run through a barrier, or attack at a government building,
think a barrier is going to stop your car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It may not. Yeah.
Can you imagine the new Hummer?
Yeah. That's 10,000 pounds.
10,000 pounds.
10,000 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
It just crab walks to the side of it. It's fine. Yeah.
Hummer weight. Hummer EV tested 9,640 pounds.
Yeah. That's a lot.
You should. I feel like you need a different class of license to have one of those. Just so you don't, but you should.
It's a lot to get something like that up to speed. It's a lot to slow something like that down. And they're saying basically that the infrastructure on our roads is not built for it, let alone some of our roads are very beat down and very crappy. So I don't know. Again, we're seeing companies left and right get out of EV and out of hybrid. BMW announced they're done with EVs. They're going to go straight to, they're going to do a hybrid.
And then you got Lotus, who's like 2025 no more.
They're not, hydrogen, not hybrid.
Oh yeah,
they're doing hybrid and hydrogen. So
yeah,
it means something. I mean, it's funny because things like this as a kid would not have fazed me. But now I'm like, well, I'm old and I'm on the road, and if somebody hits me, that's really going to do a lot more damage. And it's something to think about.
Yeah, I was driving. Where was it? So they closed that part of I-90 just outside of North Bend. Did you see that? So they did an emergency closure because the size of the chunk of the asphalt that came out was enough to like blow a semi-truck tire out. It's like a foot deep. I'm kidding. You drive by it, you can't miss it. It's not like a pothole. It's a.
This was outside North Bend?
Between North Bend and North Bend, Snoqualmie Parkway. Those two right there. Yeah. And so it's a big issue. I've never seen roads deteriorate so fast. So you got to ask ourselves the question: is it the roads? Is it the crews?
Is it the weather?
Yeah. And so I've been trolling WSDOT a little bit. Okay, a lot.
Is that smart? They know where you live.
Nah, I don't care. So I messaged them. I keep posting on Instagram. I said, can you post the over-under on your budget when you make a project update? Because I really want to see, because this is public knowledge. I'm going to eventually, my goal is to kind of see, because all that's public information.
Sure.
I'm going to start trolling how much they go over budget for every single project they have.
Sure.
My goal is
that's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah. I want to see if I can sort of trigger the social media crowd to start holding them accountable, because nobody else is. But if there's enough uproar, maybe somebody will,
Are you going to do some research into it and figure out why they're going over budget? Like, is it laziness? Is it tools? Is it?
Yeah, I'm really curious.
Is it the fact that four guys stand around and watch one guy dig a hole?
Well, that's always been the case in construction, though. I mean, literally, as long as we've been alive, I think everybody's had that complaint or that joke.
That's a long time.
Yeah. I mean, and so they had this thing where we had some people come in from South Korea to look at our infrastructure over here. And I was like, were they teaching us or are we teaching them?
Yeah.
Because there's no way South Korea is doing worse than we are as far as efficiency. If there's anything they do well,
their dirt roads are nicer than our paved roads.
Right. I was going to say the Koreans, the Japanese, hell, even Thailand had better roads than we did by a long shot. And they have washouts over the top of them all the time.
It's amazing they don't wash away either.
Yeah.
Something to be said there.
And a jungle, and they have elephants that walk on them. And I mean, even when I was driving over there, I was kind of shocked.
We have some, never mind.
I was shocked at how well the roads were. And people talk about, everything over here weighs a lot more, and that's fair. We have a lot heavier vehicles over here. But they don't really care about weight ratings. They will take a triple, what do they call those things in Australia where you have triple trucks going down the main line?
The road trains or
road trains. Yeah. Road trains is what I was thinking of. Yeah. So they have those in double over there that are overloaded to hell and back. Like these things, you're like, how is anybody going to stop? They're not. They're just going to run into shit if you're in the road. If you're in the road and you hit by a truck over there, it's your fault.
You need to stop in 6 miles. Start now.
Yeah. And so I'm like, how do the roads stay so good? It's because they just pack them full of hard rock and lay over them. Like there's so much hard base. So I'm wondering if it's a speed thing. I'd really like to know more. More importantly, is a joke that I was trolling them. I'm kind of am, but I actually want somebody to respond and actually talk to us. There's always two sides to every story. Yeah. And I'm not just calling entirely incompetence, even though it is a government agency, especially Washington State. I bet you there's a good story there onto why things are so difficult.
But a lot of that, the road stuff, is it bidded out?
I don't know.
Like, and the fact of like the lowest bidder, and then the lowest bidder comes in and goes, I can't actually do it for that price kind of thing?
That's what I'm wondering.
Okay.
And so like I said, I know there's two sides to this story, and I'm sure somebody over there is as frustrated as we are. Not everybody, probably 1 in 100.
Some bald accountant's going, we need to stop this. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, and that same guy's like, I'm retiring in 10 years. Do whatever you want. Just leave me out of it. Yeah, I don't know. But I would love to have somebody, if anybody knows anybody at DOT who would actually be willing to speak on this, and I know that's a touchy and difficult thing to do, they can stay anonymous. Hell, I will even interview them off on paper and not name them and have them sign an NDA, because that's a knowing, like, from family that's worked in government. You do that, that's a death sentence. Yeah, like, you can get in serious trouble for that. So,
well, I mean, your brother was a perfect example. We couldn't get him on the show for
years
until he retired. Yeah. We're not going to go in this, but I'm just looking at your search history here and making me laugh, especially that bottom one. Yeah, so it's nothing rude, but I'm like, Jesus.
You're like
Are you bored a lot?
Exhibit meme generator?
Oh, God.
For work purposes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I literally used it at work today.
I mean, if you watch the Super Bowl, you understand that Usher took all the wardrobe from dodgeball and put on roller skates. So.
I bought a special shirt that said, I hope both teams lose.
Yep. I was just proud of Taylor Swift to win a Grammy and the Super Bowl in the same week, so that's good for her. So, yeah, there's all the jokes we have. So, yeah. It's starting to get nice outside. I'm starting to get.
It was sunny today.
I know it was sunny today.
I almost grabbed the word. I was too busy.
I could not get out of the house today. Like this is my getting out of the house and coming to you today. And but it's starting to get kind of nice. How is your planning going for your trip?
Pretty good, actually. Okay. So I've been looking at multiple ways to get down to Arizona.
Yeah. So Arizona's the first stop, right? And then you guys are going to Moab?
Yeah. So we go straight to technically Mesa, and then we go from there up to Sedona, and then we go from Sedona to Moab, and then Moab, we're, depending on the weather, we want to come back through Heber City and Park City. Not so much Park City, actually. It's actually the surrounding area, the Wasatch.
So you're spending a week in each place, basically?
No, I'm spending a month in Mesa, and I'm spending a week and a half on the way home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So one of the things we're looking at, though, outside of Heber City is just, maybe a place to live someday. And
okay.
Park City is obviously out of our league for now, which is, would be nice, but right next to Park City is Heber City and this blow up area called Snyderville, Kimball Junction, Silver Summit, which we really love. We love that side of Utah.
Lots of land for compounds. Yes.
Yep. Okay. And some of the best roads in the entire country are right out the back door.
Yeah.
Yep. And this one here, look at that. Look at Highway 150. It's closed during the winter, but like I'm telling you, heaven is the hidden roads of Utah.
I'll say it. I think I'm being pulled more and more out of this state every day. We talk about the roads. We talk about everything. I mean, I think this is everything's going on in this country, but it's
car people. Yeah,
it's car people. It really pulls you to go. Oh, I could live in Utah. I could live in South Idaho. I could live in Wyoming.
I could live in Alpine, I think.
I would love to
live in Jackson.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I think Alpine's good because you can be in Jackson. And what was it, 30 miles?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah. I mean, and worst case scenario, if you drink a bunch in Jackson, you can float down to Alpine. So that's fun. Yeah.
We love ourselves in Wyoming, but there's no close airports to that.
Yeah,
I mean, Jackson, but, add a $500 to every ticket.
Yeah.
That adds up pretty quick. But, I think the nearest international airport from Jackson is, Boise?
Probably Boise, Idaho.
Boise.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, obviously, we've had a pretty light winter. Mm-hmm. Ironically, I looked at the thing that we might get snow this week.
I know.
I don't quite get that one. But obviously, the cars are starting to get itching to go out, and get I see that. Speaking of R8s, I see it was yours was caught out in public. Chrissy caught a photo of it.
I promised I would talk about that on the show.
Yeah.
So I have been using the same people to work on some. I'm gonna keep it as vague as I need to because I'm absolutely not throwing this company under the bus, and I don't want it to even remotely sound like I did. They're the best in the business. It's not Metropolitan. It's not a Avants sponsor. This was a very, very freak accident occurred and the seat was damaged. Yep. And they immediately called me, said, we'll do whatever it takes to make it right. It's on us. Like, just let me know. They have been as great to work with as they have been for the last 20 years I've been working with these guys. No problems at all. Took it to LeatherTech.
Avants sponsor.
Great
Avants sponsor, yeah.
Huge shout out to Chad at LeatherTech, who he looks at it and goes, it needs to be replaced. The way the leather was cut needs to be replaced. He goes, I can fix it for now and not make it, so it doesn't get worse. And so just so it doesn't look like a hole in your seat. And because we're waiting for this, so we ordered the leather from Audi. The car is new enough. Everybody worries about the leather not quite matching, and that's a real thing. But the car is new enough; it hasn't seen any any UV exposure, which is a big deal. And it was
in Tennessee in a garage, and then you guys drove it here, Kentucky.
Yeah,
and you guys haven't driven it that much because of the winter, right?
Yeah, 800 miles on it, we got it. So we barely driven it, so it's not as much of a concern. It'll wear in close enough. It's fine. Anyway, took it to Chad. He's like, I'll do my best on it. He goes, it needs to be replaced. He goes, but I'll do my best, and it'll look way better than it did.
It looks amazing, by the way.
It doesn't even look like it was ever happened.
I know. You're like, do I need to replace this?
Yeah, and Chad's like, and we are. It's the right. He told me why. He goes, the repair is right on the edge. This is diamond quilt stitching, and so the repair is right on the stitch.
It will come off. It will.
He goes, I don't know when. I don't know if it ever will. He goes, but there's a chance it could separate here. He goes, and he was right up front about his work. Like, but seriously, it looks like it never happened. His not perfect is closer than you'd have to be. I would have to point it out and tell you exactly where it happened for you to ever notice it.
Well, basically what he's saying is it's a wear point, no matter what. Like something eventually, if you didn't replace it and you drove that car, it's going to fail because there's a hole in the leather. So
and so we're just waiting for this piece of leather to come in directly from Germany. Luckily, R8s oddly have this bad issue. Not luckily, and also terribly have an issue with their dash leather shrinking. And they've put out an extended warranty on it and a service bulletin that gets replaced all the time. So they have a surplus of all this exactly matching leather.
Which is good.
Yeah. And so, anyway, they're going to send it out.
You have to get a whole new bottom or a whole new...
That's the center section of the bottom of the seat.
Yeah. So it's just a whole new center section.
Yeah.
Just pops it out. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So we're going to get that in.
Very cool.
Yeah. But I got to... I've always known LeatherTech's done good work, especially Chad. Like, everybody raves how good they are. Yeah. But holy crap, the dude's just a magician with leather. And if I'm out and about and you want to see the repair, I'll show it to you because it's pretty damn impressive. I'll show you a picture from before. But again, I'm not even going to mention their company. They have done everything right, and they immediately stepped up to the plate. It was a total freak accident, but everybody's been great.
Like, they've been so great. Like, if we were allowed to talk about their name, we would. That's the point.
Yeah, I've already sent them business afterwards.
Absolutely. And on top of that, I mean, Avants has done several tech sessions at LeatherTech. Mm-hmm. If you get a chance, you should go. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really cool to watch the work done.
It's a lot of fun. So,
and if you have any leather repair,
and then the dent specialist.
Paintless Dent.
Paintless Dent is in the same building as well. So
yeah, Dent Solutions.
Guys.
Yeah,
Dent Solutions. Thank you.
Yeah, they're amazing. So, but I've been using the other guys, like I said, professionally when I was way back in my days in the body shop is how I knew about these guys, and they're still the best in the business. So if you want me to talk about it, I will. I'm not going to put it on the podcast. So I don't want anybody thinking anything bad about them. They have been amazing through the whole process. And you know what? Even if you're the best in the business, an accident's going to happen one day. It's all what you do about it. So no hard feelings from my side. I'm still sending them business all the time because they're the best in the business.
Accidents happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why adult diapers are made.
Exactly.
Everybody knows that. Yeah. What else is going on with these? You got the trailer prepped.
Getting there. So I'm adding some more E-track on the inside. I did levelers in all four corners, which was a pain. Worth it, but a pain.
Levelers? What do you mean?
So if you're parked on uneven ground,
you got feet that come down.
Yeah. So now, because all you have, if the trailer's not attached, don't step on the back. It's gonna go straight up in the air.
Okay.
So this
are they just like pull down, put a pin in kind of thing? Or
no, I got the screw kind that come all the way down, and they hold 1,500 pounds per corner.
Are they? Is it you screw each corner, or are they attached to each other in some way?
No, each corner.
Okay.
So I wanted individual ones, but I can just put on an impact and
and then you put a plastic plate under them like you do.
Nope, I got the additional plates that fold down with them, so they can be on like dirt or something like that. It gives them a nice wide footprint.
Okay. Yeah. So that's happening. You're working on recirculating, doing some stuff with the heater.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that before I leave because that requires cutting into the trailer, and I don't want to be rushed while I do that.
I understand.
I want to try a few things here and there. I got the front box on. I got a new inside cabinet to go in. I got the toolbox inside and mounted where I want it.
How are you keeping that new cabinet in there, the rolling cabinet? Are you mounting it to the wall?
I'm keeping it on rollers. However, I have enough the E-track where it points out. So the handles on those, on each side of those toolboxes, it has like rib nuts into the side. Yeah. So I'm basically taking it off, and I'm taking the handle off, and I have these special stainless loops, or like what do you call them?
Tie downs?
Like tie down at points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there I can detach it to the wall.
Yeah.
Like actually
and if
hard
you want to
attach
take it out, or if we're working on something, it can be taken out and moved off the trailer.
And
Very
actually,
cool.
I adapted. So you've seen E-track 2x4 things where you can so you can mount a 2x4 across it.
Yeah.
I'm basically boxing it in with that.
Nice.
So I'm building a little frame so it holds it in there as an extra protection. And of course it locks closed, but at the same time, like that thing's not going anywhere.
Well, yeah, especially if it did.
Precious cargo.
I was going to say, it would take out a monkey, and that's unacceptable.
Right? The monkey. That's what I would be worried about.
That's me too. So like, okay, so the R8's going, the monkey's going to go, right?
Yep.
You can't go to Arizona without the monkey.
Exactly.
I mean, that's got to be good, some
Essential.
good stuff. I'm really looking forward to taking the monkey to Moab this year, by the way, too. So I ran into Brian. Well, actually,
Brian came to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brian came to me. I was up. We met in the halfway, but it was good to see him and Annie. But we were talking about this year, and I was just like, I'm so psyched to get back on the monkey and get out there. And I mean, it's the problem is I've been so busy. I try to.
Dude, I feel you.
I used to have. I was looking back at my calendar. I used to have things on my calendar where I said, 15 minutes, go ride the monkey.
Yeah.
Go outside, and it just hasn't happened. So I mean, kind of looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yep. I did a bunch of work on the shop. It's hard to work on the shop is hard to see because there's so much going on in here. But I added a bunch more insulation, which of course, remember I sent you that video, that clip from Malcolm in the Middle, to where Hal goes to change the light bulb and ends up working on the car.
Yep.
He goes, and I forget her name, comes in and goes, Hal, can you change this light bulb? But he's working under the car. He goes, what do you think I'm doing? What does it look like I'm doing?
Yeah, what does it look like I'm doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to add more insulation to these walls, build this cabinet, get these out of the way. So I go to add insulation to a wall, and I notice, again, previous owner wiring, 14-2 wiring to a 20-amp socket to a 20-amp plug. I'm like, great, that's a great way to start a fire because it'll overload it.
Did you have an ADHD moment like Megan?
Oh, God, totally.
Like
100%. And so from there, it's pull out the table saw, do some measurements, and then rewire, not only rewire the outlet, redo I'm restapling the wire, routing it correctly, giving it the proper angel share off the outlet, proper angel share off the breaker box.
You're letting it drink the angel share? Oh no. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a certain
amount of loose wire.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. And it's got to be. I think code here is no more than 7 inches up the wall from the breaker. It needs to be stapled, and you need to have I think it's 6 inches of angel share off the line. I looked it up. Anyway, I did that, and then put a new outlet up there, proper 20-amp outlet.
Where is this at?
This is above the shop door.
Okay.
Where the exhaust fan that I installed is, and the wiring for the camera.
That's right, because we got the installation on the door, or most of it, I think, the last time.
Most of it, yeah. And so I did that, and then, of course, to do that, to cut the foam board, I used the table saw, but obviously that makes a huge mess.
Yeah.
So then I went and got an adapter for the vacuum to the table saw instead of just taping it on there, so I got a proper downsize.
You didn't have that already?
I did, but it didn't fit quite right. And when you're doing
your DeWalt vacuum didn't fit your
DeWalt table saw.
What?
Yeah, thanks DeWalt.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice thought of them. Hey, maybe include include a $5 adapter. So, but I used a rubber hose downsizer for plumbing.
I just want to throw out there that my Milwaukee has an adapter that fits any size.
That's good thinking.
Yeah, it's really.
Don't worry, my Milwaukee collection is growing. Did you know
come to the red side.
So did you know I have 2 3/8 impacts? One from Milwaukee, one from DeWalt.
I see.
Yeah.
And what you're gonna get rid of the DeWalt one here pretty soon?
Oh no. So the DeWalt one stays in the shop. Milwaukee's
in the trailer. Yeah.
Milwaukee you built out. Although my trailer tools are nicer than my shop tools at this point. So I'll have to upgrade
I don't know.
those.
Your shop tools are pretty nice. But...
No, my hand socket. My hand tools.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm probably just gonna get more Milwaukee stuff.
Nice.
But anyway, so that rabbit hole, got the outlet replaced.
Yeah.
Got the more insulation on. Trying to think what else I did. More wiring. It's always wiring.
Well, yeah, it's one thing leads to another, and we joke that it's an ADHD thing, and the fact that so many people with ADHD, and not to call Megan sent us a video. It was of her Saturday, and it was like she was doing 9 things at once. And I even told her, I was like, "Your video's too long. I lost interest because I have ADHD." But it was. You start 9 things. You're like, I'm vacuuming, and then I realize that the carpet is torn up, so I got to fix the carpet. And while I'm fixing the carpet, I'm realizing the underside of the cabinet is not screwed in. So then I have a screwdriver, a vacuum cleaner, a carpet tool. Yeah, so it just goes.
Yep. The more and more I do this, though, I'm glad I have collected so many proper tools over the years. I have used, I'll tell you what, those Knipex pliers, the pipe wrench, and the non-marking wrenches. Since I got those, I think I've used those more than almost any other tool, because instead of a wrench, most of the jobs I can do with those, and it's so much faster. It's just one wrench to do everything. If you have open space, like if you have tight space, obviously I can do the job, but when it comes to home repairs, must have.
Must have. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it. I think those are listed somewhere. We have those.
Yeah, they're on the tool list,
yeah.
which I do need to update. I'm sorry.
God damn, what have you been doing with
I know, all that free time. Speaking of updates, I've moved almost everything over to the Avants page for Dan's Drives as like just a central hosting spot so that our Avants members can access that in one page. I want people to keep going. I want to combine all of my resources and get them over to the Avants members. Again, it's just a matter of, as we say in the industry, how many cycles do you have? I'm like, none, but I'm making some. I'm not sleeping.
You don't need sleep.
Yeah.
You can sleep when you're dead. And we always say this too, not to create work for either one of us, but if there's something you want to, if you've heard about and it's not on there, let us know. Shoot us a message.
Yeah, we'll reach out.
It's at the least we'll one of us will shoot you a link of where you can find the tool or how to get it to you. So.
If anybody in Arizona is listening, just before I forget, because I want to bring this up, one of my drives I've been wanting to do for a long time is a road outside of Phoenix, of course, right here. It's Route 88, Scenic Drive, the Apache Trail, which is not all paved. And I've been dying to do this road forever. It doesn't have a lot of...
Is it an out and back?
No, it's a round trip. And it looks really awesome, but it's not paved. So... if anybody's done it, I'm going to take the Raptor on it. I think it's doable. Let me know.
Okay.
I would love to know, like, if there's some
that's
side
up
roads.
Around Apache Lake. Okay.
Yeah. So,
where are you seeing a loop?
Oh, go here and then up and around.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or this way or whatever.
Fair enough.
Top of the world. I've done 60. I've done
Where's the
87.
Where's Maynard's place? The winery.
Oh, Jerome.
Jerome. That's right. Okay.
Which we'll be doing there. Great kaleidoscope store.
That was one of the best times, making Andrew drive us up there in a rental car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
a lot of fun.
I don't know what it is about 89A. 89A Arizona, awesome. 89A California, awesome. 89A Oregon, awesome. For some reason, 89 is like the magic number for highways.
Somebody knows. Yeah.
Somebody out there was like, if it's fun, make it 89.
So how long are you guys going to take to get down there?
It depends on the weather.
Okay.
If we have to go...
Are you going down the coast or going down through Salt Lake and down?
So ideally, I'm going to go down I-5 and then cut over to Tahoe.
Reno? Okay.
Yeah, I really want to go to Tahoe, but they've been getting weird weather. Like this whole area either is rain or dumping snow.
Yeah, most of California has been washing itself clean. I'd like to see it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So if the weather's nice, I do want to go through. It's always such a pretty drive through Tahoe. Unfortunately, this section of 89 out through Markleyville that we did, this killer section of road where we almost got hit by that Ferrari head on.
Yep.
That's an awesome road, but it's closed until April. So it would be cutting
on the way back.
Yeah, well, it'll be a different way on the way back. But we'll be going around Tahoe, and I was thinking going down to Mammoth.
Well, also, I mean...
and then over.
I feel
Death
like...
Valley.
Just so I'm clear, and maybe I'm giving Shauna ideas for this, I feel like on the way down, it's going to turn into a Knight Rider situation, where all of a sudden the Audi comes out, and then the truck goes ahead, and then the Audi can have fun kind of thing. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah.
That's exactly kind of what I'm hoping.
That would make you Knight Rider Industries, sir. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, right?
Should have got a black trailer. Maybe I'll get a black trailer.
There you
black
go.
Truck.
Yeah.
I do need to get it
wrapped,
the trailer is going to get its graphics and everything through our friends from Metropolitan and S-Tech.
Does that happen before you go?
It's on me. I wanted it to. I don't have time to get it over there, and that's not on them. They offered, and I need to get that done. But when I get back, I'll have more time, hopefully, or at least somebody will get up there for me.
Sure.
Excuse me, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the S-Tech branding on there, showing that off. But we could do something fun.
Yeah,
maybe I'll get a black Raptor. Mine hasn't arrived yet.
Is it supposed to arrive? Like, do you have you
March.
ordered it, right?
Yeah, end of March is what they're all telling me.
Well, okay, so I heard that Ford kicked up production of the Ranger Raptor, and
everything.
They've done a bunch of production going.
Yeah, it's because they dumped all the production of every EV they got because nobody wants them.
Imagine that. Yeah.
I think I said this. I don't know if I said this in the last show, but they tried to sell me an F-150 Lightning. Like, what about Lightning? We'll get you a great deal on one of those. So I was like, I wouldn't buy that if you paid me. I love the Lightning, but there is no way that fits my use case. Like, I would do that only if you paid me.
They're discontinuing it, aren't they?
I don't know. Probably
swore
nobody wants it.
It's not getting the mileage it's supposed to get. I mean, it's a neat concept. I've been against it since the beginning, but yeah.
I actually like it. I just wouldn't. There's no way I'd buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want a Lightning? How do you tell somebody that's calling you for a Raptor, hey, I think you should pivot to a Lightning?
I was like,
oh, sir, You wanted a GT500 Mustang? Have you thought about the Taurus? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I say this. I mean, I want them to flood the market with Ranger Raptors because
Yes, please.
that's what I want. I'm in the green.
I know you'd love it too.
Oh, I know I'll love it. It's the down payment and the monthly payment that I have to to justify. And, I can justify it. It's just, what I eat, So,
yep.
Yeah.
So now that he's officially taken possession of it, I can talk about it. So our good friend Gaurav got a new vehicle, Audi SQ7.
Okay.
22, I believe. And if people don't know, the SQ7 is basically a rebadged Cayenne turbo. It's the twin turbo V8, absolutely hauls ass. It's a tune away from an Urus.
Is that his?
I mean, it's for Vidya.
Well, no, okay. I didn't know if Video was driving it or if that was going to be his
it's
daily.
the family vehicle.
Okay, fair enough.
They needed a 3-row SUV.
The Corvette wasn't good enough.
I know.
For this?
That's what I said.
I'll tell you. Yeah.
Just turn off the airbag in the front. That's fine.
I've been in the back of a Corvette. I was fine.
Right?
I was absolutely fine.
That's true.
I wasn't comfortable. I was fine. Yeah. So
just add some tie-down points and get some ratchet straps and put the car seat back there. Good to go.
Visually, I can see that.
I know, right?
You think he'd let us take that photo? Not drive the car, but just like with the baby in the middle. We'll face it away so you can't see the baby.
That would be great.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Gaurav, you heard it here first. We need to take
it.
pictures of your baby in your Corvette, ratchet strapped down to the trunk.
I kid you not. I think he just messaged you.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So that would probably be safer than anything pre-like 1985. Just saying, ratchet strapping a car seat down in the back of a C7 Corvette is probably way safer than anything that existed.
Yeah, that'd rock your baby to sleep.
Yeah.
Drifting around a corner.
Super
so
sick.
SQ7, okay.
Yeah. And so the SQ7, RSQ8, and
the RSQ8's a Urus.
the Cayenne Turbo and the Urus are basically all the same car.
Yeah.
Across the board. The difference, of course, being the Urus has the bigger brakes. Nice. I mean, it's nicer in every way, but it's still the same.
They're all big V8s, though. It's the same V8.
It's the same twin turbo V8, the same transmission. It's just brakes and things like that. Suspension. Don't be wrong. They're not exactly the same, but they're all the same power plant and same transmission. So they all put down crazy speed. And he was hauling ass on the way home and loving it. I was like, yeah, this is a perfect vehicle.
I need to hear more about this car from him. I mean, we may need to have him come on and talk about it because we always love to hear about our friends' buying experiences. So
right, exactly. And so it's really nice. It's a dark gray. He wants to change the wheels up already and mod it. Vidya's not quite on board yet. I was like, dude, you need to tune it. You can get another 100. The stage 1 91 octane pump tune for that.
You talked about this.
Yeah, 100 horsepower, 130 foot-pounds of torque, I think, or maybe it's backwards. But either way, it's a ton of horsepower and torque. And obviously it can take it because it's just the Urus tune. That's all it's doing. It's not like some fancy special tune. It's an off-the-shelf, like, what tune does the Urus have? Let's pull that and put it on the ECU. Done. Same thing.
God. Yeah. Thank God Vidya's there. She's going to be the logic in this. Like, no, we don't need a 700 horsepower family car.
Yes, you do.
She has to drive it. She is a nice,
Don't
calm.
press the
She is
pedal
a very nice, calm, beautiful person.
Right?
All right. Well,
I've been telling him. So here's the thing, and because she likes the road trips. She loves road trips.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
we all do. But I'm like, you got to get her to a place where you find something she loves to do with the car. That's how you build these things. You don't just give up and say she's not a car person or he's not a car person if you enjoy these things. You got to find that common ground, and there is for everything. Shauna, not into the off-road stuff. She likes it. She likes sightseeing. She's not against it. She likes going out in Moab and stuff, but it's sightseeing for her. It's not the technical stuff she's really into. Fair. She loves the R8. Win-win for me. I'm pretty lucky. Don't get me wrong. But if you're with your partner and you're struggling with that because you want to spend more money on a car or something and you feel like they just don't understand, I would say start with that. Go find the common ground that you both love to do in the car, and, hey, maybe you can both give and take a little bit.
Didn't she almost kill him when we took him on a drive because he was driving a little fast? This may be why she doesn't want to drive with him.
I think she still likes to go with him. I think she maybe told him to slow down.
No, maybe we wanted to kill him. I get that backwards. I get that backwards.
She was a hell of a trooper on that drive.
Absolutely.
Where we got shut down,
I know. I agree.
Anyway.
So.
Yeah. So anyway, congrats to them because we're always excited when our friends get new cars because we start planning the mods for them.
Yeah.
I tried to get. Did
he get it locally?
Oregon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fun. And you said it was a 22.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Still under Audi Care, all
Let
that.
Somebody else take the hit. Attaboy.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for him. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, and SQ7s not as much, but Q7s are oddly Q7s and
They don't make an RSQ7, right? It's just the RSQ8.
But the Q7 is one of the highest depreciating SUVs, and the Audi A7 is one of the highest depreciating cars. So There's a very limited market for them. But it's a 3-row SUV, and it hauls ass. The SQ7, not the same.
Okay.
So they take a good hit, but that's really good for a buyer because you can get one of those under warranty for like $40,000 cheaper.
Which is nice.
And then you're at the bottom because they're not cars that have no bottom. They just because once they hit that, take that first hit, they sit. So, and he'll take good care of it.
Interesting.
So.
Well, congratulations to Gaurav.
Yeah, I would love to drive.
I'm starting to see a lot of people coming out of the woodwork here and are starting to look. Facebook Marketplace is really kicking up. Things are starting to come out. We're starting to see jokes like you don't have to worry about your husband talking to another woman. You need to worry about him talking to Steve about the low mileage Corvette. Things like that. So yeah.
I'm still looking. I'm more and more just happy to get my new truck if it shows up someday. That's all I really want.
You're not giving me a whole lot of confidence like you're going to come home with a truck.
They're not giving me a lot of confidence. Until they have like a bill of sale signed in my hand,
I don't understand how they can't tell you when that truck's going to show up. I
posted on Reddit just to get, and a lot of people are in the same boat. People are like there's one guy who ordered a GT500 as well. Like he has a Raptor R and he ordered a GT500 and they were like, at first they were great and said, it'd be here this time. He goes, then nothing. Then one day, oh, your car's here. And I've said it before on the show. That's been my experience with Ford for the most part across the board. They're pretty terrible as far as sales. Like I've never had a good dealership experience with Ford pretty much ever. And Nissan either when I had the GTR. Like it was always a pain in the ass to get anything done.
Interesting.
And without Brian, I don't know if I would at Chevrolet either. Like the only times I've had really good experiences have been shockingly with Porsche, even Porsche Bellevue, which I've had no problems with them. McLaren's been great. Park Place has been great to us. Like it's the dealership experience on the new market hasn't been that great for me.
Well, I mean, because when I look at like BMW with Carl, I mean, he was following that car across the ocean.
Yeah,
you could tell exactly. Porsche's the same way. Like they tell you exactly what train it's on and things like that. So
yeah, it was super easy buying from Brian with the Corvette. But other than that, like I don't know if I would expect that anywhere else without knowing somebody, and that's disappointing. It's one of those. It's kind of one of those jobs that are ripe for automation. I mean, I guess you've had really good luck with Carter though. Genuinely,
yeah, I was a customer of theirs before we brought them on. But yeah,
right. I mean,
they have gone above and beyond to help me, my family. Every person I have sent there has been, they've done an incredibly. They've gone out of their way. So
they've done service for my friends too, and they've been great. So it's like I know good shops I can get service from, like independent shops.
And I wonder if it's Ford that's the problem and not the dealership.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Is like, why is their dealer support so bad? Because that's an indicator of a larger problem.
Yeah.
Normally I wouldn't trash talk dealers, but I just haven't had a good experience. And so I'm like, do something about it, Ford. If you don't like the trash talk, do something about it. You guys have been genuinely unresponsive. Flippant is the word.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, come and go. We've got enough customers. Do what you want. Which sucks.
I don't know. Like when you're looking at I think I was telling you last week, and I may have mentioned the fact that I saw like an F350 dually that was like $165,000. And it didn't even have all the options. And I'm going, who's buying? Like, unless you're hauling cars across the United States or really need a massive farm truck, who's paying that for a truck?
I looked at an F350 just toying with the idea instead of the Raptor, and I optioned one out exactly the way I wanted it, which is basically fully loaded. You looked
at the 250 though, didn't you?
And the 350.
Oh, okay.
And it was 104 or 107 fully loaded. Yeah.
What happened to the day? Back in my day. No.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean, look at trucks now. Trucks now are luxury cars. My Raptor has more options than an Escalade, literally.
Yeah. I'm just worried.
The new one.
As I know that I'm coming in a year, I will be in this situation where you're at going, okay, what do I want? Brian, I was talking to Brian, because I'm very much looking at the Colorado, the Raptor. And I've looked at the Nissan too. I've started to look kind of just because I want to have options. I won't go that route probably, but at the end of the day, Brian's like, just find a used truck. And I'm like, I just don't know if I like the idea of somebody else beating the crap out of a truck. So
say the most exciting news Nissan has delivered in the last since the 2009 GTR launch was when Carlos Ghosn did his famous escape in a box. Other than that, they produced the Z.
The new Z is nice.
The new Z is fine. It's a really nice little car.
Another one I'm going to be looking at is the Tacoma.
Of rentals.
The new Tacoma.
Yeah. The new Tacoma is really nice. You can't go wrong with the Tacoma.
Yeah, but the problem is if you want the meanest, baddest Tacoma, you got to get the hybrid.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, but the way they do the hybrid, though, is not like every other car. We talked about that extent.
I don't want a hybrid.
So this is a good conversation about depreciation because if you look at the cost of a vehicle and you can think, yeah, but the Frontier is $20,000 cheaper. It's like, yeah, it's another $20,000 cheaper when you roll off the lot. The Tacoma is not. The Tacoma is $20,000 more expensive, and it's $3,000 cheaper when you take it off the lot. Or if you have one somebody wants, it's $3,000 more expensive.
With the Frontier, though, I mean, like we have some friends that have had one and really like it, and I've been looking at some things and some modifications, things like that, and it could be done. I'm just saying, I always like to find something that's and kind of make it my own. So I don't know what the best platform for that. The Raptor. This is the part. If I get the Ranger Raptor, and I'm gonna obviously there's no options. It's color or that's about it.
Yeah.
If I get that, there's not much I can really do to it to make it me, and that's why I'm a little hesitant. Also,
you'll always find a way.
I will. See,
there it is right there.
Even that's and this is the thing about the Ranger Raptor. Ford is tooling me because the minute you go look at for a Ranger Raptor, they have my color already up there. Like it's like they know. So.
Yep, that's a good looking truck,
right? And that screen. I'm not 100% in love with the up and down screen. I feel like it should be tilted out a little bit, but.
I like the fact that at least they still have manual controls for the.
And I love the digital dash.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like the manual controls for the air conditioning. That'll make your quick stuff not like 3 menus deep. Infotainment's terrible because anytime I have to do more than one push.
But it's that starting price that I don't necessarily like.
Yeah,
yeah. So I know you're getting a lot for what you pay for.
But. Well, here's the thing though. Like, look at my Raptor now. I think I paid $72 for my Raptor new. Can either trade it or sell it used with 65,000 miles on it for $50 to any of the week. I could list it and it'd be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I get it.
If I didn't have somebody already interested in it and potentially the dealer taking it, I would. I mean, if I can go get a 24 right now, I would sell it.
Yes, but I've made the decision this next vehicle I'm going to buy. I'm not going to lease.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ford's real interested in leasing these. They want people to buy them.
Well, you don't. Why would you though? Because I mean, if this thing's 55,470, let's just say the Raptor. We don't know on the Ranger Raptor yet, but if the Ranger Raptor depreciates like the F-150 Raptor, then it's going to be worth $50,000 2 years later.
But what I'm looking at that is 55,000. You got an extra 5,000 worth of tax, license, and things like that. You're $62,000 truck. So, yeah. And I right now, just so we're clear, I drive like a $40,000 Subaru. So
right, that's what I'm saying.
This is a jump. So
forget the decals. Don't worry about the splash cards. I could
get the decals. I will have done in my own little thing. But
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
there's not much else there. It's the wheels.
Yeah, the bead locks.
Yeah, bead locks. Yeah, I want the bead locks. But that other than that, like
even if you never bead lock them, by the way, folks. If you get beauty ring bead locks, which all factory vehicles that offer bead locks have, they're good just for the rock protection.
And the other thing I'd add is a bed liner.
Yeah, I would go aftermarket.
That's what I'm saying. Aftermarket. Yeah.
Now you can get the one from Ford, the Tough Bed.
Yeah.
I actually.
It's a drop in though.
No, it's $500 to spray in.
Oh,
they have spray in.
Oh, the drop in one. I thought. Okay, yeah, I get you. Yeah, what's $500? I used to install those. It does not take $500 to do that.
No, but I mean, Linux is going to cost you something similar. Linux is usually tougher than the factory ones, and people are pretty well known for it. But it depends a lot on the installer. Mine's fine. I see a lot of places they could have done it better. Yeah. But
still.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm a year off from probably figuring this out, and
I get that.
Huh? No. Don't?
No, get that. The keypad on the door in case you ever get locked out of your truck.
Yeah.
I
would never do that.
You can always say, "Go to my truck. Here's the code."
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, but
it's
see,
not a bad value.
That you're okay. So those options, you're at 60,000 right off the bat. Okay. Plus tax, license, another taxes, another 6, license, another probably. Well, I live out here now, so license is not.
License is $120.
Okay. So we're still at almost $70,000.
66.
Yeah. That's closer to 70 than it is to 60.
True.
So, yeah.
66,000.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. That green. I'm so sold on this vehicle. Again.
Again, it's the truck you don't have to do anything to. You can drive it bone stock and go wherever you want.
This is not related. Are we good enough friends where you could loan me $66,000? I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do with it.
Potentially.
I would like an interest rate of like 3.
Your interest rate will depend on what my stock price increases while you borrow the $60,000.
Fair enough. No.
In your defense, it could be worth less. By the time you pay it off, you might owe me $140,000.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair. That's an honest reaction. I accept that. I accept your terms. Yeah. So
I will hand you the money, but it might not work in your favor, and it might not work in mine. We'll find out together.
Yeah. You're getting screwed no matter what. So yeah. Excellent. Well,
Anyway.
I feel like we're rambling a little bit here, but obviously the stuff we talk about. But we, Dan and I wanted to get together and do a fun little episode. We're recording this before Valentine's Day, and to answer all your questions, no, we're not spending Valentine's Day together. Both,
Jerk.
Yeah, well, I think
the rejection hurts.
Your
man.
girlfriend and my girlfriend both asked us that. I'm like, no. We can't.
I would have cooked you a steak.
I know. Thank you. Now you're actually making me feel like, sorry, Kate, Dan and I, we have these. Yeah. I just got into a relationship. I don't need to ruin it that quickly. So, yeah.
All right.
Well, again, we're looking forward to next week. Aaron's going to be a great interview. We got some really great stuff coming up. Actually, Carl's been hooking us up with some stuff that's going to be out in the magazines and things like that, which will kind of leave us a surprise, but it's going to be fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you into this yet because I just realized one expense that you would absolutely need on this truck.
Yeah.
You would any dark color and the way we use our vehicles.
I know.
You can either get real good with a buffer, or you need paint protection.
That's a really I know that. That's, yeah.
So I've been
hence why I was saying 70.
Yeah.
so
you would need some S-Tech on this thing.
100%.
So. The one thing I didn't do on my truck was cover the fender flares paint protection. And so now my truck looks perfect, except for the fender flares, which are not only matte, so they're hard to polish.
You got there. Like, that's why I was like 70. Like, that's,
Yeah, you're going to need it.
But then you look at it and you go, okay, is $70,000 best spent on this? So that's where I'm at.
I would, because it's a new hotness.
It's not going to be the new hotness in a year, though.
No.
So we'll see.
So buy it a year later.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to...
You'll be busy this summer anyway.
No, I'm not. I'm buying it this year. I'm buying it in a year.
So perfect.
We're going to... This process, we're going to go through this. It's going to be on the podcast. We're going to talk about it. We're going to put it all out there. So
we should just list, instead of names, dealer A, B, and C did
100%.
this, and just document it.
100%. We're going to.
Yeah.
We're absolutely, because I don't know if you know this or not. You're helping me buy a new truck. I need you. But yeah. So I need you, Dan.
I'm useful. As a man, this is where I find value.
Fair enough. So
that is true, actually.
I agree. All right. Well, guys, we appreciate you listening as always. For this episode of the Avants Podcast, as always, I'm Nick.
I'm Dan, and don't just get there. Enjoy the drive.
Yeah, no, I was...